You will now hear the darkest prophecy that not even Zeus could prevent. The parchment burns in your hands, but it does not crumble. The letters write themselves in living flames, engraving words that do not belong to this world. Each line burns against your skin like a red-hot iron. You try to let go, but you cannot. The fire does not consume the papyrus, it consumes you. And then you realize it's not just a prophecy about the gods, it's about you. Your name appears between lines that speak of war, blood, and the fall of Olympus. Destiny is neither distant nor symbolic. It has already begun to move. Thunder echoes in the distance, but it's not Zeus who controls it. It's the prophecy itself that shakes the sky. Would you reveal this secret, or burn with it before the gods find out? Before continuing, leave a comment which country and city you're watching from, and what time it is there now. Let's see how far this prophecy has come.
The temple before you is but a skeleton of its former self. Cracked columns lean against each other like weary old warriors. Shattered statues litter the ground, faces broken in expressions of fear that seem still to breathe. And in the center, a strange fire burns silently. It burns, but consumes nothing. Not wood, not stone, not dust. It simply exists, as if a reminder that even time has failed to erase this place. At the altar, the oracle opens by itself, not with scrolls, but with darkness itself. Words emerge in the air, written in a language that doesn't belong to the world. Sounds that shouldn't be understood enter your ears, and even without translation, you understand. It's about destiny. Hera watches from a distance, eyes narrowed, as if calculating how best to use this against you. Apollo, lord of prophecy, brings his hand to his face, distraught. It's the first time she's seen him without answers. Hermes, on the other hand, just laughs. And here I thought anonymous notes were dangerous enough. But then the impossible happens. Among indecipherable symbols, a word forms clearly, as if written by an invisible shadow. Your name, engraved there before all the gods. If even the oracle speaks of you, has the prophecy already begun?
The voice emerges without a mouth, without a body. It doesn't speak, it invades. It fills the cave, vibrates in the cracked marble, enters you as if it were your own breath. A god will be betrayed. Blood will stain the throne of Olympus, and from his fall will be born the end of order. The words don't sound like a warning. They're a sentence. Hera closes her eyes as if she already knows who it is. Apollo hunches over, pressing his temples as if the sight burns more than sunlight. Even Hermes, ever ironic, remains silent. And then Zeus stands. Thunder explodes in his hand, ripping the air. He raises the bolt like someone tearing a page from a book. Enough! The sound echoes like a storm, but the prophecy does not stop. The thunder hesitates, the lightning flickers, and for the first time, the king of the gods seems small before what he cannot control. The words continue to write themselves in the air, even against his will. Clearer, stronger. They don't fear him. On the contrary, they seem to mock him. All of Olympus witnesses the impossible. Zeus trying to silence fate, and fate doubling its voice. The silence that follows isn't peace, it's heaviness. The feeling that something has been triggered and can no longer be erased. And the question that no one dares to ask begins to echo within you as if it were your own. If even Zeus cannot silence fate, who could? The words burn before you, but suddenly the fire is no longer just present. It opens like a portal, and what you see is not of this time. The oldest night in the world unfolds. The sky was starless, only absolute darkness, and from it emerged Nyx, Night herself. Her wings covered the entire earth, and each beat brought forbidden omens. Nyx bent over a solitary flame. There, on the border between life and death, stood Hecate, guardian of the crossroads, mistress of mysteries. Night whispered secrets into her ears, not words, but visions. And from these visions was born the first prophecy. It spoke not of men, it spoke not of ordinary wars. It spoke of Olympus, of gods overthrowing gods, of a birth so powerful it would bring the heavens themselves crashing down. Images fade, but the echo remains. A son, not just any mortal, a child with divine blood, destined to bring about the end of order and the beginning of something not even the gods could control. The entire temple trembles. Hera clasps her hand in silence, as if she's heard it before. Apollo falls silent, his face glistening with sweat. Even Aphrodite breaks the heaviness of the scene with a short laugh. So much drama for a bedtime story. But the words keep burning until you realize something impossible. The oracle isn't just speaking of Olympus, he's speaking of you. And the question appears like an icy cut in your mind. What if the child of the prophecy is you?
The silence of the temple shatters like shattered glass. There is no more waiting. The gods divide before you, each look a sentence. On one side, voices demand your destruction. If the bearer of the prophecy dies, destiny dies with him. On the other, whispers of protection. If the oracle chose him, it is because he is the key, not the target. All Olympus splits into two invisible lines. Zeus raises the thunderbolt, the light shattering the roof as if the palace were made of crystal. The thunder bends, but his fury does not. No mortal shall decide the fate of the gods. Hand over the scroll, now! Hera steps forward, her eyes burning coldly. Don't you see, Zeus? The oracle doesn't threaten you, it reveals your downfall. It is you who should fear, not the bearer. Apollo, who should be the voice of prophecy, is torn. He stares at the fire still burning on the altar, as if searching for a way out. But his voice falters. If we destroy the message, we burn the future. But if we reveal it, it may already be too late. The ground trembles. Golden columns begin to crack, fragments falling like heavy rain. Olympus itself shatters around it, unable to bear the war between its gods. Hermes laughs, even as he dodges falling rocks. Impressive, he didn't even need mortals to start the end of the world. And amidst the chaos, all eyes fall on you. The parchment still pulses in your hands. Each written word burns as if begging to be revealed. Every inch of your skin burns with the weight of a choice that cannot be postponed. Would you burn the prophecy now to save your life? Or would you reveal it in front of everyone, risking burning down all of Olympus?
Thunder booms inside the temple. Zeus descends the steps like a storm incarnate, each step accompanied by a crack of lightning splitting the air. He extends his hand, and the command is not a request, it is an order. Hand over the scroll before he destroys us all. The heat of the lightning stings his skin, but Hera doesn't flinch. She raises her arm before him, as if she could block even the sky itself.
Do not be blind, Zeus. It is not the bearer who must be destroyed, it is you. The prophecy speaks of your downfall, of your blood-stained throne. You are the condemned. The entire temple trembles with his fury. Fragments fall, fiery serpents scurry through the cracks in the floor. But what holds everyone captive isn't the thunder, it's the scroll in their hands. The golden flame that once merely burned now pulses. Each word twists as if alive. And then you realize something impossible. They change as you think. If you desire silence, the lines fade, dissolving into ash. If you desire revelation, they become clearer, shouting for all to hear. The parchment is not just a message, it is a reflection. It is an echo of your own mind. Hera fixes her eyes on you, almost smiling. See, not even the oracle trusts him. Fate has chosen another scribe. Zeus raises the thunderbolt once more. Show me now what is written, or I will burn you with the entire sky. The air is suffocating. Apollo covers his eyes, unable to watch. Hermes simply comments, "Funny, when a mortal breathes, Olympus stops making decisions for itself." The scroll pulses, awaiting your choice. Reveal the words that could set the throne of the gods ablaze, or hide everything, accepting that silence may be your only remaining protection. And the question burns within you. Is silence safer than the truth? The parchment trembles in his hands, the flame dies, and finally it crumbles to dust. The ashes float through the air like dark snow until they disappear completely. But the silence that should follow doesn't come. On the contrary, the words continue to echo, engraved in the marble, resonating within the heavy air. The prophecy lives on, even without the papyrus. A soft laugh cuts through the silence, thin as a blade. A shadow looms between the gods, sinuous, impatient. Eris, the discord, appears with light steps, as if she had been there all along, just waiting for your entrance. In her hands she lifts a golden apple. Not the same one she threw at the gods' feast, but another. And upon its surface you see something impossible. The same text from the prophecy, written in lines of fire. She twirls the knob between her fingers as if toying with fate. Did you really think a piece of paper was enough to contain the chaos? Prophecies are seeds, and I guard entire gardens. Her smile is sweet, almost innocent, but the glint in her eyes betrays cruel pleasure. The gods recoil, each trying to interpret what this means. If a single prophecy has already divided Olympus and made Zeus tremble, how many others has Eris hidden? How many curses are still waiting to be born? And the question hangs like poison in the air. If one prophecy can shatter Olympus, how many more does it still have in store? Eris's golden apple glows with the fire of prophecy, and the gods cannot avert their eyes. Tension is no longer measured in thunder, but in silence. Everyone waits, everyone demands, and everyone knows that the next gesture will not come from Zeus, nor Hera, nor discord herself. It will come from you. Hera is the first to approach, her voice as sharp as steel. Destroy the oracle, burn what remains. It's the only way to stop Zeus from using these words against us all. Her eyes burn not with fear, but with strategy. She's not thinking about you, she's thinking about war. Athena wastes no time. She appears at his side, cold as marble, calculating each breath. Listen, mortal, fate cannot be destroyed, only understood. Preserve the oracle, and perhaps we can use it. But choose quickly. Wisdom does not wait forever. Apollo raises his hand, and for the first time his voice cracks. If you let the prophecy live, it will consume you. If you destroy it, chaos will break loose. There is no clear path, only debris. Their words swirl in her mind like sharp blades. Hera offers control. Athena demands understanding. Apollo foresees ruin. And amidst them all, Eris simply smiles, as if every choice was hers from the start. The snitch pulses toward you, the fiery words trembling as if responding to your heart. You feel the true weight of the dilemma. If you preserve it, you will be marked as the bearer of a destiny that could topple Olympus. If you destroy it, you will unleash forces that can no longer be contained. The temple columns creak, the ground cracks, and time seems to hold its breath waiting for its decision. And then the question that cannot be avoided settles like a sentence. Would you protect the prophecy, or betray it to survive?
Olympus trembles. Thunder explodes in all directions, cracking golden columns as if they were made of clay. Statues of gods shatter in slow motion, arms and faces falling into the void. The entire sky seems to shatter overhead. The sacred palace crumbles, not by mortal hands, but by the weight of a prophecy that can no longer be contained. You try to run, but the ground opens into fissures that stretch like serpents of light. The marble cracks, and beneath your feet there is no earth, only fall. You plummet, swallowed by the abyss, and the world around you crumbles like burning parchment. Then the visions take shape. First, walls ablaze, Troy burns, heroes fall, seas run with blood, screams echo, but they are not just from men, they are from gods who watch helplessly as their own order crumbles. Then, the gates of the underworld open. Hades raises his hand and a wave of shadows rises like a black tide. Spirits cry out for vengeance, and even the living seem to be swept away by the current of death. And then, deeper, more ancient, mountains shift, chains break, titans awaken from oblivion, their every breath so heavy it makes entire oceans tremble. The prophecy didn't speak merely of a doomed god. It spoke of a cycle, a fall that would drag all others down with it. Amidst the visions, a voice echoes, not male, not female, just destiny. This prophecy is only the first. A chill runs down her spine. If a single prophecy could split Olympus and bring it crashing down, how many more are hidden? How many words still await revelation? And the feeling that sticks to you like a chain is inescapable. The oracle didn't reveal everything. There are other hidden prophecies waiting for the right moment to destroy what remains of the gods.
The fall seems endless, until your eyes open in a flash. You awaken not on Olympus, not in the underworld, but in a different place. The floor is ancient stone, worn by countless footsteps. Incense burns in the air, spreading a sweet, suffocating scent. All around, columns covered in symbols that glow as if alive. You are in Delphi, the temple of the oracles. Shadows move on the walls, and the silence here isn't empty, it's watchful. The entire space breathes as if aware of your presence. A sacred fire burns in the center, and within it you see fragments of the same prophecy you tried to destroy. Words that don't die, only are reborn. And then, the voice that echoes isn't night, nor Hecate, nor Eris. It's Apollo. He speaks without appearing, his presence imbued in every stone. If Zeus couldn't stop a single prophecy, imagine when they all come true.
The flames flicker, revealing for an instant new visions, hidden scrolls, whispered voices in different languages, destinies entwined in a web inescapable. What you've seen so far is only the beginning. You take a deep breath, but there's not enough air. The feeling is clear. The future cannot be avoided. It can only be faced. If surviving a single prophecy was already impossible, wait until you see them all rise up. Subscribe and stay with us. The next prophecy begins exactly where this one ends.